They both have the same 5.2-liter V10 engine, and they both share the same platform underneath those athletic body lines. However, there are major differences between these two supercars, the Audi R8 V10 Performance and the Lamborghini Huracan EVO. And in this video, I'm going to show you the two completely different design philosophies and the overall approach to their styling. There are some major differences right there. More on that when we jump into Photoshop. The side views in particular is very interesting, so make sure you stick around for that. There's also a difference in power here. The R8 puts out 533 horsepower at 8,250 RPM, while the Huracan's V10 is tuned to 602 horsepower at 8,000 RPM. The Huracan is also longer, wider, and lower than the R8 and weighs about 600 pounds less, which gives it a 0 to 60 time in just 2.7 seconds, which is half a second quicker than the R8. But let's talk about the styling here, because even though underneath the underpinnings are pretty similar here between the two. As you know, Audi owns Lamborghini since the Murcielago era and the Gallardo era when Lamborghini took over, when Audi took over Lamborghini, and they still own them today. So we have, as you can see, they kind of merged together here when we look at the front graphics. What we're gonna do is compare the front, the rear, and then we need to compare the side, because that's where you can clearly see the two totally different vibes and philosophies that you get from these two designs. So let's have a look at the Lamborghini Huracan here first in the front end. It has, of course, it's a Lamborghini. It has a very clear DNA of what a Lamborghini is supposed to be like. You can sketch out a Lamborghini with a very few lines if you know what the key DNA for a Lamborghini is. So if you want to sketch out a Lamborghini in a very few key lines, all you got to do is just first of all put out a wheelbase like this, and then you have the wheels the wheelbase something like this, I would guess. Then if you want to have a Lamborghini, all you gotta do is put out one single line that goes something like this. So you want to have the top part above the front wheel right here, the height of the front fender, and then we just continue this line into the rear end like this and have it be a sloping curvature that never really goes back up unless you have what you have on the EVO now, a integrated spoiler here in the rear. But this is pretty much what how you would sketch a Lamborghini in a very few lines. And then from here we can now see the silhouette here, that it looks sort of like some Lambo, and then we can create the rest of the body panels inside here, the window line and something like that within this shape, and boom, we have ourselves almost like a Gallardo looking thing right here with the intakes. We can add those as well. So sketching out a Lamborghini is pretty straightforward. It's not that complicated when you know the key lines of what it actually is supposed to look like and the DNA of a Lamborghini, and that is very clearly visualized in the Huracan EVO here. Now the graphics in the front end has obviously changed over time, and it's become a little bit more complex. I'm a huge fan of the first iteration of the Gallardo from 2004. Very simple graphics in the front end, but of course we need to update those as time goes on to create something more modern and interesting. And you can see that these wings here, the Lamborghini has a very typical three-spoke graphic design features now in the front end, and I think the next Huracan is actually going to have these being the daytime running lights instead of having them up here. I think they're going to be more integrated in the lower section of the front end, like we have on the Sian, for example. I think the Sian is a really good preview of the new design language of Lamborghini with the new Aventador and the new Huracan as well. But really aggressive lines here, and Lamborghini also have always these two lines that instead of going down like these lines right here, from stretching from the A-pillar and then becoming narrow in the front end, Lamborghini always have those lines that go in the opposite direction on the hood. If you look at any Lamborghini, you're gonna find these two lines here as well, in addition to the outer lines right here. Very cool graphics. I really like the EVO here. I think the first Huracan looks a little too tame, but here they really stepped out the graphics, and these wheels are just fantastic, which I'm gonna show you in the side view in just a minute. So comparing this to the Audi R8, you can see the family tree here. This is like a sibling to the Lamborghini Huracan right here, specifically looking at the graphics right here. So have a look at this portion right here. Almost a copy-paste portion of this piece right here on the new R8 V10 Performance down there. And it looks okay. Me personally, the best looking R8 would be I think the 2015 V10 Plus. I think that for me is the top R8. I'm not really a fan of this new shape of the current R8. I think it looks too static. It has a static motion to it when it's sitting still. And if you have a supercar, the most important thing to me when looking at a supercar is it always needs to look like it's going 200 miles per hour even when it's standing still, and that is lacking here. I'm gonna show you exactly why that is when we look at the side view in just a minute here. But the front graphics of the R8, they look pretty good, but they're still a little bit too static for my taste. And you compare this treatment of the lights and the lower part of the grille, it's more integrated here in the Audi, which you have the graphics almost melting into the lower part, the grille sticking up a lot higher here than it does on the lower intake on the Huracan right here. The headlights sit more in together or blended in with the lower part of the graphics of the front end. Nothing wrong with that, but it just doesn't have the same separation between the lower part right here of the Huracan and top part and the lower part right here of the R8 and the top part. They kind of melted in together a little bit more. So looking at the rear view here, let's have a look at the Huracan right here. What I absolutely love about the updated Evo is this little tiny detail right here that totally creates a brand new appreciation, at least for me, for this rear end. This piece right here, this ducktail, is just a beautiful touch, and I think it makes the rear end of the Evo look so much better than the first generation of the 2015 Huracan. It's just a tiny change, but it adds this send-off that we've been talking about a lot on this channel, on the Sketch Monkey channel. To have the rear end have this little send-off of the design. We have this sloping line going all the way down here, and then it just bumps up right here at the end to create this almost ramp when you look at it from a side view. A beautiful little touch. And of course you have these bazooka tailpipes right here of the Huracan EVO, centered in the graphic feature, in the height of the overall height of the car right here. So they don't sit down here or they don't sit in the middle right here. They sit right in the center, which I think is another thing that is uncommon with a regular version of a supercar. It might be like something that you would see more on an STO version, for example, but I think it's really cool that they decided to put them in the middle on the regular Huracan EVO as well. Another thing that I like about this specific EVO right here, I'm not sure if that's something that all EVOs have, but something that if I were to buy an EVO and it doesn't have this is what I would change immediately. That is the blacked out rear diffuser piece right here. I think I've seen Huracans with this being the body color as well, and I don't like that. It looks like a diffuser island down there that has no connection to the rest of the body, and it just breaks up. It makes it look less low, and it just creates a big piece down here that's body colored that brings the mass down. It just messes up the overall proportions of the rear end when you have it. So if I were to have this Huracan, I would definitely have it like this, with the lower diffuser being blacked out. So comparing the EVO to the R8 down here, we can see that the R8 is a lot more restrained in its approach to the graphics. We have a lot of horizontal lines right here, which I kind of like. I think this rear end is a lot better looking than the front end. They don't really go together. Compare this and how clean this is. We even have straight lines right here and going into the tailpipes right here, massive tailpipes on a more traditional location, I would say, but still very clean and very polished rear end compared to the front end of the R8 right here, which looks, maybe you could say it's a little busy, specifically if you have a clean rear end like this. But I really like this piece right here with the mesh that stretch all the way from the very end of the car stretching to the other side, which creates a very wide looking rear end. And I really like the rear ends of the R8. I like this modern, the newer R8's rear end better than the previous generation. But if you look at the overall design, I really prefer the older generation of the R8. I think it had a lot more soul and a lot more motion in the lines comparing it to the current generation. Now we're gonna go into the most important view here, which is the side view, and this is where we really need to talk about the two completely different design philosophies and approaches to the styling here. This is where it becomes interesting. So have a look at this DNA, just like I showed you here, a clear chiseled shape of the Lamborghini Huracan. This is a shape that's been with the Lamborghini since the 70s with the Countach. You have this piece right here, and then you have this little send-off here, which is specific for the Evo, which we just talked about. And it's a tiny little detail. It's a tiny angle going up like that, but I think it just captures this line very beautifully. So you have this one single line right here that then goes down into this piece, and I really want to have on the old Huracans or the previous generation that didn't have this, it just continues down here and it never goes back up. There's nothing there to catch this key line of Lamborghini, and I think this little touch here, it just creates a nice send-off of the rear end and one of the most important lines of the Huracan, of course. Then this line, of course, is very specific for the Huracan as well. You have the almost framing of the greenhouse like this with this chamfer piece right here. Beautifully done. And then you have this line down here as well going into the front end, and this line continue also right here in the front end, and you also on top of that have this line right here in the rear end and the graphics. So now when I've put all of these lines out, can you see something that they all have in common here? This is what I'm talking about, supercar design, when it needs to look fast, like it's going 200 miles per hour even when it's standing still. The Huracan does that absolutely perfectly. The reason for that is if we look at all these lines that I just put out here, they all have an angle to them. There's not one single line in the side view of the Huracan that is parallel with the ground. There is not one single line here that is horizontal from one point to the other. They all have this line going down forward. It has this chiseled, it leans forward and it looks like it's ready to go just by looking at it from a side view, even when it's standing still. And on top of that, I love these new Evo wheels that we have here. Perfectly, they look massive, but at the same time, it looks like they really fit this overall design with this chiseled, sharp Lamborghini design that we're so used to by now. And now, here's the problem I have with the R8. Let's compare these lines with the R8 now. And you're gonna see why I call this a very dynamic design and this a very static looking design. Look at all the lines that we just put out. So let's put out the same kind of lines here. We have this greenhouse line or the silhouette line going right here. We do have a little bit of a ramp here, not as pronounced as the Evo's integrated beautiful little ducktail that you have in the rear end, not as pronounced or emphasized as that, but you still have something to catch that line right there, which I like. Then you have this line right here, and you have the greenhouse being completely flat. You have this line going the opposite direction. It's dipping downwards towards the rear end. Then we do have one line right here that dips forward a little bit, but there is nothing that is really, there's no lines here that creates a motion, whether it be forward or backwards. Everything is kind of neutralized here. The lines are neutralizing themselves. For example, this line dipping down, this one dipping up, which creates a very static motion in this piece of the design right here, the centerpiece. You really don't have, I can't see any movement either forward or back here. Every time I see the new R8, I can't help but think about the old Noble M600 that we have up here. They still have this same kind of static looking, specifically the center line right here, which is very horizontal in both cars, and there is a lot of horizontal lines going on all over the place. And on top of that, if we look at the greenhouse treatment here of the R8, for example, and we kind of copy paste that, it will fit perfectly on top of the Noble M600 up here. So these two cars have a lot in common that always when I see the new R8, I can't believe how similar it looks. And also, if you look at the rear end, kinda similar treatment of the framing of the graphics and the bumper, how that sticks out here. A lot more details, if you just look closely, that are very similar between these two cars. It's not really an ugly design. It doesn't look like a supercar design. And the reason for that, as I've said, it doesn't look like it's going 200 miles per hour standing still, which is a key feature that all supercars needs to have. They need to have at least some movement moving forward, and this doesn't have that. And it's kind of interesting comparing these two, just how different they are when you have this forward motion in the Lamborghini. An overall shape, if I were to put out just one single arrow for both of these designs, you can see that the main lines of the Huracan goes like this. So it goes down something like this. This would be the key arrow or movement line intersecting the side view of the Huracan. Huracan. While on the Audi, I think it's just would be a just horizontal line, something like this, because we have lines going dipping down, dipping up, as I said, neutralizing the entire car. So it doesn't have the same movement or supercar feel like the Huracan EVO.